Dear Santa and Jesus and Obi-Wan Kenobi, please help all the listeners to subscribe and share my Daddy and Uncle Jay's podcast. They love to share awesome bands with the world. And please teach Daddy to be funny and stop swearing so much, especially Uncle Jay. He smells like whiskey and Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Please subscribe and share my Daddy and Uncle Jay's podcast.
1, 2, 3.
Say it with me. Live nude puppets. That's right. Live nude puppets. It's live nude puppets. It's just fun saying live nude puppets. Live nude puppets. Live nude puppets. They're back. Say it with me. Live news puppets.
On today's show, my ex-wife sends me her boyfriend's underpants. Jay and I meet a lot of strippers while bouncing. And the New York-based heavy rock band, Royal Skulls, sit down with Jay and talk shop.
Don't say any potty words, because my mom is listening.
Oh, baby, I love you. You fucking bastard.
Hey, Planet Earth, it's Live Nude Puppets. We're back. It's Bobby Puppet.
And I'm Jay Puppet.
Go f*** yourself.
Badges. We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
My kid's mom drives by and hands me a bag of my kid's clothes. And I
A
put
bunch of
them...
smoke.
No.
Hey, Bobby, here's some clothes.
No, she's
These need to
yelling
be
at me.
washed.
Dude, she was FaceTiming with my kid the other day, and I had a cigarette. I said, I'm going to go outside in the porch for a while. I walked by the screen. She goes,
Oh, your father's smoking in the house, huh?
I go, no, I'm not smoking in my house. I just said I'm going out in the porch for 5 minutes. But anyway, so I opened this bag.
You just keep eating. Don't worry about us. Everything's fine.
Don't make me have to bleep everything you say in today's show, Jay.
Sorry.
It's too much work. I want you to be in
You
this
just go
week's
back
show,
to that.
but if you want to be that
Go back to
controversial.
Captain Handsome over there.
Okay, so speaking of which, I get these clothes. I leave them in my house for like 3 or 4 days before I open up the bag to even see what clothes I got back. I take all the clothes out. I got a blue pair of pants and a gray shirt and some socks. I take the gray shirt. I put it in the closet. It seems a little heavy, and I look at it, and it's my ex-wife's boyfriend's underpants.
That's hilarious.
The underpants are really small.
Do they have a shit stain in them?
No, I didn't look. But the bulge was like stretched out in the front. And I'm like, great. And I got to have his underpants in my house.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, right before you left,
The underpants went straight in the garbage right away.
I wouldn't even, dude, I really would have lit them on fire.
I just threw them away.
How many opportunities do you get to light this asshole's underwear on fire?
He ain't wearing them. And he did me the biggest favor in the world. And if you really stop and
This
think
is true.
about it.
He really kind of
I
did.
definitely would not be a live nude puppet. I definitely would not have my name on 2 scripts in Hollywood right now if it wasn't for him.
You definitely wouldn't.
I owe a lot to that dude. Yeah, I owe a lot to that guy.
I couldn't believe how much you were drinking the last time I saw the two of you together. I was like, holy shit, man. Look at this guy go. He's over there. Go. Hey, you want a rum and coke, Jay? I'm like, holy shit, yeah.
You mean when I was with my wife?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
that last time I was over at that the townhome.
All I know is if it wasn't for that guy, I would definitely, I'd be delivering pizzas after my day job.
Yeah. Trying to
Picking
make
up
friends.
dog shit.
Always a popular and lucrative career.
Yeah. Anyway, I got to cut most of everything I just set out.
I feel better. How about you?
Yeah.
It's like before that girl at the airport, the only way I got a date was standing in front of Lane Bryant with a pizza.
How you doing? This is Pat Harrington from Geezer, and you're listening to Live Nude Puppets.
We were talking about Slayer off air, and it occurred to me, being another fan of Slayer as well, it's weird to me that they've never played, or at least recorded live, or had another version of it, of Spill the Blood. It's only on the one album. It's only on South of Heaven. It appears nowhere else in their catalog at all. And
I don't know.
It's a really cool tune.
South of Heaven is kind of weird because as I mentioned before, I went out and bought Rain and Blood the day it came out, and that's obviously that album. We don't have to talk about how monumental that album was. And then South of Heaven came out, and it kind of got panned a little bit because they slowed it down, made it a little groovier, but I still really dug it. I mean, when I was in my high school band playing out at the club when I was 15, we used to play the song South of Heaven. Frankly, we played that song because we couldn't play the faster shit at that point.
It was easier to play.
But then after that, what's the album with War Ensemble came out?
Oh, Seasons of the Abyss, yeah.
Yeah, then Seasons of the Abyss came out, and that would, that kind of put the progression back into the speed and stuff. So
that reset the whole thing.
Exactly, and that was also a fucking fantastic album. So it's kind of weird, like South of Heaven is this weird kind of like anomaly in the middle of those albums, but I always thought it was great, but like you said, they don't play it live because Spill the Blood with its nice little intricate intro and slow groove, it's not what most Slayer fans are looking for nowadays.
Well,
especially now, since Jeff Hanneman is gone, I don't think you're really going to see much of that stuff ever again.
That's a game changer. Sadly, I own the newest album, and I can tell you the only song I care about is Piano Wire, and ironically enough, that's the only one Hanneman had anything to do with.
Yeah, I was always a Jeff Hanneman guy. Nothing against Kerry King, but
no, not at all.
Jeff was the soul of the band in my mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that they both had a lot to offer, and it just seems strange to me after playing together for as long as they have that Kerry didn't learn a little bit about what Jeff was doing. It's almost like he wasn't paying attention or didn't care.
Well, it might be a little bit of both, but I mean, honestly, if you go to the early progression of the band, Show No Mercy, that was Kerry King, and then once you got into like Haunting the Chapel and Hell Awaits, and then ultimately Rain and Blood, that's when Jeff's influence started to take more of a
hold. Yeah, you had a lot more punk influences, but they were brought to a more heavy metal way, and then Slayerized.
Yeah, so I mean, not to sound like a dick, but if it wasn't for Jeff Hanneman, Kerry King would probably still just be playing Judas Priest songs somewhere.
Yeah, and ironically enough, that is the only cover tune they've ever done, and it was on South of Heaven.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, more likely, most of that Slayer stuff's going to get all cut out. What are you doing in the background over there? You're like breathing heavy.
And somebody around here is going to give me my guitar back because I'm quitting smoking, dude. I'm sick of this shit.
Are you finally going to do it?
Yeah, but I'm scared to quit because I'm going to start coughing.
Oh, I remember being scared to quit. Hey, you know what happens in February?
What?
I will have quit smoking for 7 years, dude.
Wow.
You believe that shit?
You're not missing nothing.
You used to call me Smokey.
Yeah, Smokey. I did call you Smokey.
I was chain smoking constantly.
If you got to on the pavement, she'll put four on the floor. Where she gets her snacks between leather chaps till there's nothing more. Well, she likes working with tools and she's perfected her craft. If she starts out on the bitch pad, she'll end up on the shaft.
That was Motor Slut from Royal Skulls with Purple Pam on vocals, Gina, Ilasi on drums, Thaddeus, Castansis on bass, Pete Lisa on guitar, and also on guitar and with us today is Alex Rude. Alex, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. How are you, Jay?
Good. I hope I didn't butcher too many names. I really practiced that. I worked my ass off on that.
Sounded good to me. I don't think anybody will mistake them for anybody else. I think you did great.
Well, you got a unique, eclectic group there, and that's really what drew us to you. We were very interested in talking to you because you almost encapsulate old metal and new metal, and kind of give it a bluesy. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so.
Am I just talking my ass?
No, not at all. In fact, it's like I think the music that we've put together, the stuff that we write, everybody has input. I was actually the last guy to join the band, and Pete Lisa is the one who wrote most of the music for these songs beforehand. I basically elaborated on a lot of the stuff that he did, and he definitely comes from a very hard rock, punk, metal thing from the late 80s, early 90s, that type of thing. Pete used to be in a band called Psycho Sluts from Hell that actually did really well when they had their record out. They toured Europe with Motorhead, and they were on TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They did really well. Yeah, they tapped me to play guitar with them, and I was very happy to do that. I've known Pete for a long time. I've known Pam for much longer than that. She's got her own band, a separate band called Purple Pam and the Flesh Eaters. Thaddeus Castansis is our bass player, and he's been all over the New York rock scene for years now. Has played with everybody from Vernon Reid to I don't even know who else. I mean, just a lot of different people. Gina, she is currently in I think at last count 4 bands, not including us.
Wow.
She's a very busy girl, and she's one of the best drummers I've ever played with. Really, really good. She's in a couple of cover bands, a band called Guns N' Hoses that just does Guns N' Roses stuff, obviously. They just did some shows in India, which is really crazy.
I want to stop you there. The fans in India are just different.
I don't have any experience in India, but I've been to Japan 3 times, and actually the first time I went to Japan was with, believe it or not, with Britney Spears.
No kidding. Wow, cool.
The one thing I did notice over there is that they are just so incredibly polite that it's almost
annoying.
It's almost annoying because, the big shows they're much quieter. In some of the clubs in Tokyo and stuff that I've been to, it's a little bit different where they're a little more enthusiastic. But from what I've seen, man, it's just so strange. It's like if you listen to Cheap Trick Live at Budokan, all that applause is totally piped in, man. It was not happening. It's just and it's a great record, and I love those guys.
It is, yeah.
They're so cool, but it's kind of weird. Everybody listens to that, and it's I think anybody who's ever done live records in Japan, and you hear any of that kind of thing, it's not real. It's all piped in. From the Ventures in Japan to Cheap Trick to whoever, it's just weird. It's hard to get used to. But what I was saying is that we all have very different backgrounds. I totally embrace 70s hard rock and harder, almost I guess you could call it metal from the 70s too, whether it's Sabbath and Zeppelin and Kiss and stuff like that, and more of the new wave of British heavy metal stuff in the 80s. And in the 90s, I really loved all the Seattle bands. So there's definitely punk, metal, hard rock, and blues influence all over the record and all of the stuff that we're writing now.
The album Love and Murder came out on November 13th. How was the response from your fans?
The fans have loved it, but we haven't played as many shows as we'd like to. We're really looking to play a lot more this coming year in 2017. If they haven't seen us before, don't know of us, and they do see us play, they're like, holy shit, these guys are really cool, man. Let's check them out. And they'll go online and buy the record or look us up on Facebook or whatever.
It's just a different world now. These guys.
It is. It's really difficult to navigate if you don't have a lot of stuff in place already. I mean, even big bands that from the 80s or the 90s or whatever, they're playing around, and sometimes they're lucky if they draw 20 or 30 people to a gig. It's really tough, man. And if those people are not going to get booked again if they only draw 20, 30 people and they're being guaranteed $1,000 to play, they're never going to get that gig again. So you got to be really careful and choosy about who you're going to play with and where and when.
Right. Yeah. You got to be selective about how you're going to do things.
Right.
So, what's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you at a show?
I think one time I was on Long Island at a place that used to be around called Sundance. Some homeless guy came in through the side door where the band flowed in and out, and he got up on stage in the middle of our set, and I had no idea what the fuck that was going on. It was just like bizarre. And I'm like, where's the security guys, man? And the guy just hung out for like 3 or 4 minutes. Nobody did anything. Finally, we finished the song, and I'm yelling at the security guys, like, who is this guy? And they finally took him off, but it was really bizarre.
That is weird. I mean, that is like their actual job, you know?
They're like, well, we thought he was with you. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Does he smell like he's with us? Well, I guess that's a great way, speaking of not like that, a nice little segue to our feature song here. It's a nice little song about a young lady who likes to ride bikes.
Yeah, she likes to ride bikes and some other stuff, too.
Things that aren't exactly shaped like bikes.
Yeah, she just likes to ride. I love that song. Motor Slide is so funny. I think it's my favorite lyric that Pam wrote in that song is, her goal in life is to roofie Rob Halford. I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. And I didn't even hear what that lyric was until we were actually recording the song. I'm in the studio and we're doing basic tracks, and she's there doing guide vocals for us. And I had to stop and say, wait a second, what was that that you just
What
said?
did you just say?
That's all she told me. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Who would think of that, man? That's brilliant.
Who's gonna date rape Rob Halford? I'm converting you.
I bet he'd get a kick out of it too.
I'm sure he would laugh. Well, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank everybody in the band, Gina, Pam, Pete, and Thaddeus for having me. I want to thank Tommy London from the Dirty Pearls, who helped book our first show with us with some good friends at Arlene's Grocery in New York City. Nikki Camp out at Blackthorn 51 in Queens. He's been around. He's been a promoter for a long time. Other than that, just to thank the fans who actually come out and spend the $5 and download the record, which you can find on our Bandcamp page. I thank my wife and my cat, and I could go on for really long.
Of course. Well, I really want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to meet with me. I know it's been a long day for you, and it's been great hanging with you.
Oh man, thank you very much, man. Thanks for reaching out to us, man. We love spreading the word about what we're doing. It's like we said before, it's in its infancy, so we need all the help we can get, and you're exactly the type of program that we want to get more involved with.
But that was a different time, man. I mean, God. I try to explain that to people, and it's like, you go somewhere now, it's like, oh my God, there's people smoking. Where did that
was
come
a different
from?
time, Rob.
Yeah.
When we were bouncing and drunk girls would come up to us and show us their boobs because we wouldn't hit on them, we don't need those days. I mean, those days, that was then. I mean, girls pulling you into the girls' bathroom to have sex with them 2 o'clock in the morning after the bar closed. Who needs that? 21-year-old married women from the South.
I've made a poor choice.
With 6 kids.
Oh, God, I remember that one.
In a body like a Playboy model. And a face like an angel. Who needs it?
How did that happen?
A different girl every night. These are the days, Rob. These are the days.
I'm very glad that you hooked me up with that position at that establishment.
It changes your life. As long as you don't look at them.
Yeah.
When they're drunk, they come back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even make eye contact with them. Except for when you're checking IDs. Yeah, I just remembered the other day one of those wake-up things where this brunette chick, who was a second-grade teacher, took me out into the lobby and started making out with me. And when she stopped making out with me and took her hands off of me, and I was leaning against the wall, my then-girlfriend, ex-wife, walked into the foyer of the bar. The outdoor area where it's quiet?
Yeah, right. I know what a foyer is.
Yeah. Well, that area of that bar that we were at.
Yeah, right. It was a pretty big room.
And I narked myself out. And from that day forward, everything changed. I told her, but I had nothing to do with it. She said, hey, come here. And then she started making out with me. It was Halloween.
Halloween was always a magical time there.
Yeah, it was.
not as much as New Year's. You think New Year's would be really hot, but really Halloween was the best there. It was cool. Anything could happen on Halloween.
That was the group with the lowest morals in the 3 zip code area.
Oh, yeah.
That's who you'd find there. Because at 2 a.m., that place filled up with strippers. Well, really, like 2:33 in the morning.
Right, yeah, we had that.
33% of the women there were strippers because they just got out of work.
And they have a pocket full of singles.
Yeah. And they're not going to screw any of the guys sitting there drinking beers. The only people that the strippers have sex with is the bartenders or the bouncers. Or the waitresses.
That I walked in on that too. That was fun.
Oh boy. That place is totally.
I wish my phone was better than it is. You know, like the phone I have today, I wish it was like that then.
Yeah, we were on
so much cooler shit could have happened.
Primeco brick. Where just the earpiece would push up. But anyways, what was I going to say? That place is now a big, empty dirt field about to be turned into something.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. They even took down the fucking big billboard that's up in the sky.
Huh.
Yep.
Wow.
It's all gone. Who knows what it's going to be now?
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Probably a Chick-fil-A.
You know you're fat when your laces are always pointed to the inside? See that? You wonder when you're getting fat, when you people do get fat, because you all will get fat before you die. And the other way you know you're fat is if you're right-handed, but there's always poo on your left butt cheek when you've been wiping. You guys think I'm kidding?
Okay, next call. Next call for coins, Jay. Why are you laughing already?
I can hear Socks. He's licking something on the floor, and I can hear the mic's picking it up.
Then be quiet. I'll be quiet. Put it by Socks' mouth.
No, he's done.
Oh, shit.
Whatever he found, it's over with. But the first part of my recording is going to start with...
Dude, you got to try this and videotape it, because I saw a video where people would wait for their cats to be eating, and then they would take a cucumber and put it next to the cat, and in every single case, the cat jumped 6 feet off the ground.
We tried that. I didn't know about that. One of the kid's friends came by, and she was telling us about that.
Did you do it?
We did it. He didn't care.
Oh.
He just kind of walked away. He was like, "Why? I'm eating. What do you want?
What's with the cucumber?
Leave me alone."
Not this again.
Oh, the old cucumber trick.
Okay, coins. If I'm just like, this is gonna be my last recall for a while, because I got less than 100 coins out there. So if you have live nude puppet coin with pink letters and a yellow frame, here is a recall on coins. If you have pink letters, live nude puppets in pink, and a yellow frame, live nude puppets coin, and I believe there are 24 made. I don't know how many got sent out. You send that back to live nude puppets at...
Oh, you want the P.O. Box. Sorry, I was listening to you. Send it to Live Nude Puppets P.O. Box 210366, Bedford, Texas 76095. And if you want to send us anything else, that's really cool too. Just no fecal matter, please.
Right. And for the coins, to that address, and we will return a t-shirt. Get your Live Nude Puppets t-shirt if you got that yellow frame coin.
Get your Live Nude Puppets on.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Jay, David... I don't know if he likes to go by David or Dave. I would think it's Dave.
Let's go Dave. Dave
has a Live Nude Puppet shirt. He has it's a one-color t-shirt. It's a white t-shirt on black. And Dave sent us a picture of his very, 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 very sexy girlfriend wearing it. And
I like the braids.
Yeah, Dave and I have the exact same taste in women. And I thought we could throw this up there. We could get all the pictures that we have so far, which is like a handful, like under a dozen. We'll put all of our live nude pictures on this week's play along. So all you have to do is click below into Live Nude Puppets, click on play along at the top. It'll bring you right into play along, and the top, that's this week's play along. I also got an email this week from a guy who says that the full color one The reason I keep saying that you get laid in it is he says that there's something subliminal in it.
Oh shit, they figured it out.
Don't say anything. That's against the law. I disagree with him completely, and I don't know what he's talking about.
I can't hear you.
But at this point, I don't know what you're talking about, and I've got a feeling this guy got laid. That's for sure.
Told you so.
Anyways, I think it was, I can't remember the guy's name. It started with a J, John or Joe. I'm sorry to be rude. I don't even have the notes in front of me. But it's peace and love.
Ever
dude.
so prepared for a show is Bobby.
Yeah, he wasn't being, he kept it fun, you know? He wasn't like, you know, like, anyway. Okay.
Badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
Peace and love worldwide. Live life before life lives you.
Why do you need a turkey baster?
Hey, Live Nude Puppet fans, go to livenudepuppets.com to get your Live Nude Puppets t-shirt. We got one for $9.99. We got one for $12.99. We got double-sided, you name it. But our fans come first, the lowest prices in t-shirts, and the only t-shirt that gets you laid.
It looks like a penis.
I love that.